guys, what's going on? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE, joined here, as always, by one Mr. Big Z. What's going on, Z?
Hey, I'm off on spring break, as I mentioned last week. I just heard today I will actually be off for another week due to, what's going on in the world. Some people on my team have coined it as Coronacation. I know that sounds funny, but I am also well aware there are some people having a much rougher time than all us teachers that are just getting off paid.
Yeah, and I'm still not wearing pants, for those of you who've messaged me over the past week. I'm still not wearing them. I refuse. Just not going to do it. So I'm of course, I am wearing pants, for those of you concerned. I don't just run around pantsless. But the job front, for those of you, I get questions on a weekly basis. The job front for me is looking up. It looks like I'm going to be going back to one of my old jobs and kind of going from there. But this week, weirdly enough, we have a very special person with us, and we'll get into why it's kind of interesting in a minute. We have one Mr. Josh Massey. How's it going, Josh?
Hey, pretty good. How are you guys?
We're doing well. So for those of you, the people out there who don't know, because I think everybody knows Alex, everybody knew Brad, kind of give everybody what it is you do, and I guess you guys kind of have new roles within the organization as well, too, right?
Right. This is almost the perfect time for this chat to happen. So, I'm Josh Massey. I've been with Fantasy Flight Games for about a year and a half now, with 7 years of experience working with another company prior to FFG, all the way from their store level up until, working for the company and doing organized play with them. So I've got a lot of OP experience, which is what got me my job.
It wasn't one of those 4-letter word companies, was it?
A 4-letter word company.
Yeah, It starts with a W-O-T-C.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No, it was one of the other ones out in that same area, though.
Oh, okay.
So, I've been with FFG up until very recently. I was the guy in charge of making all the kits happen. So, it was very, very nice. I started 3 weeks before Keyforge officially launched and was told I needed to make everything for Keyforge. So that was a blast. Definitely threw a guy to the fire, that's for sure.
I'm still in training.
Yeah, exactly. So, up until very recently, that's what I did. As you guys saw with the announcement earlier this week, Alex has made the decision to kind of split the team so that we can, focus a little heavier on specific game types. So now I am doing a lot more with our card games for FFG, and obviously that includes Keyforge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love to have you. We saw you at Collinsville, and then weirdly enough, we saw you, I think you were last year, you were at Adepticon as well, right?
I was at Adepticon last year, and I think, Z, I met you in Seattle, right? For the first Vault tour?
Yeah, you were actually the very first FFG staff member I ever met, and had a great time in Seattle. And kept going, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, you're still here, so.
Yeah. We're all still here, but, kind of swinging around back to Adepticon. Obviously, for those of you who have not been really honestly paying attention to what's going on in the world, coronavirus is spreading everywhere. And that has now, we got yesterday that, Adepticon was looking at it, was thinking about it, and was kind of awaiting further information. And then this morning, or actually, no, it was just a little while ago, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, just this afternoon.
They have fully canceled. It was about 2 hours ago. They fully canceled Adepticon. So, with that being said, Josh, being that Keyforge is held off-site, what is kind of, I guess, the thoughts and feelings, and how is the Vault Tour going to proceed from here?
So, I cannot say for sure yet, but I did start preliminary conversations with Yeti Games, and as of right now, we are probably going to follow suit with Adepticon and not have the event, but there will be more information on that very, very shortly, because obviously if we do decide to host it, we want people to know. But if we go the other route, which it looks like we're going to do, we also want to make people aware so that people don't try to, get out there in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, I mean, this This is fresh. This is just breaking.
Yeah.
I'm sure tomorrow morning you're going to have a nice, fun meeting where everybody's going to be gathered around a table with maybe some bagels and coffee. I don't know how your meetings go, but
I would love
where
bagels
you'll
and
have
coffee.
that. Oh well,
Water,
and
to some extent, this is all being kind of taken out of your hands. Like our government saying, "Don't go out and do these superfluous things."
Right.
And this is going to be held at a hotel, so I mean, if I'm the owner of a hotel, this is not something I probably want in my hotel right now anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah.
It's a double-edged sword on that front for them because, on one front, they're losing a ton of business. And then on the other front, it's, but I don't want everybody, got to have survivors to have customers, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's that one of those things where it's just, we're going to have to weather the storm and see how it goes. I mean, this is probably not just going to affect Adepticon. I'm sure it's going to affect other Vault tours in the future if things don't settle down in a quick manner. But we'll get into a little bit of that in a minute. Josh, I polled the community like we always do.
Yep.
And we're going to go through some questions that they came up for you. So obviously, if you cannot answer them, we understand. We know how the whole skinny works. But if you can't answer them, everybody would be greatly appreciative.
Yeah.
So let's start out with, and I'm going to butcher this name, Hiram Graph. But nope, I'm not going to do that one because we already know about that. Also, if there's start a Keyforge club, I don't want to do this either. So basically, yeah, no, I know what he's saying here, but he says it in such a roundabout way. I meant to rephrase this one, but basically, is there any other way that we're going to be able to get Gem into the hands of anybody besides the store owners, where maybe somebody could register themselves for a school, a public library, some of that fashion?
Like Archon's Corner.
Right. Different organizations that would be able to have and run events outside of just your local gaming store.
So that is a wonderful question. And currently the answer is we don't have anything in place for that, obviously, as everybody knows. But with things changing hands a little bit, I have been able to focus a little bit of more time, or little more of my time and energy into things like this. And I will be honest, it is something we have discussed. Can't give an answer now because it needs to go through a lot more channels, but it is not off the table. And I will have to leave it at that.
All right, yeah, and I think we've given this to Alex before too, and I know his answer was like he didn't want to give the ability to hand out shards to kind of just anybody.
It wasn't necessarily that.
Sense.
I respected his answer. A lot of it was about protecting the local store owner. But in general, I think if it was accessible to more people, the game would grow to more people in general.
Right.
So.
And with that access, offering things to a club, and this is just in general, this is just me talking, but offering things to a club doesn't mean that you have to offer Chainbound and Amber Shards.
Yeah.
It just gives them the ability to host an event and to be able to support the game. And I am all on board with more people supporting a game that we all love.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're Archon's Corner. I don't know, Josh, if you've been following, but we run tournaments. Basically, this is our third now? See, with Reversal and Adaptive starting to wrap up here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been running this. I know Sanctimonious has run kind of these events where we just have stuff going on and just getting people practice and getting ready for certain things. Like right now, everybody's on the Worlds train, so we're getting people ready for Worlds and where we should go from there.
Right.
So, I mean, it would be nice. I'll tell you, it would be nice to be able to be like, hey, I can order a prize kit for however much it is and then be able to ship out prizes to everybody. But, I get it. I get it on both ways. So,
right.
Z, you want to take the next question?
Yeah. So it's got some different names. Some people are calling it appraisal. Most people just refer to it as a short adaptive. What are the thoughts on making that an official variant going forward? since it's more accessible to more people because it has less of a time constraint and still achieves the adaptive goals.
Right. So with stuff like this, I actually had a conversation about that earlier today, in fact. Question number 1, has anybody emailed that? And I know the answer to this one, but emailed organizedplay@fantasyflightgames.com about these things, because we now have a new person, Tess Keen, on the organized play side for card games, who is monitoring that much more heavily than we've had the ability to do before. And this is a thing that we want to do. This was the thing we intended when the game started, is we came up with some formats that we thought would be fun, having played the game what we had played. But we know that we didn't get enough time to play as many games as we have now, or as you guys have. Yeah. So I am more than happy to take any and all feedback on changes to existing variants, on brand new variants. That doesn't mean that if you suggest it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that is something that we are definitely looking into right now, and want to have a list of rotating variants that work for different event series and at different times.
Because that is definitely, there's some other stuff out there that people are starting to do a little bit more. But out of all this stuff, as a TO that's run over 30 events, probably, maybe 20, I don't know, a lot. That is one of the formats that a lot of the locals and the people in the other stores in my area have really kind of been drawn to. It gives you that, like, if I don't walk in with a super powerful deck, I'm just not necessarily going to crush everybody because of that.
Right.
And it's like a lot of people that have families play this game with their kids or wives or girlfriends. Like, doing more than best of 1 rounds is really hard for that. Mm-hmm. So I think people have really drawn to that format and that idea. I don't know if anyone's like submitted it directly to OP. I know for a fact Alex has been asked directly on more than one occasion, once by me.
Yeah, the short adaptive format, I will tell you, is the one that we have talked about internally.
Okay. Like that's, I think that would be super exciting going forward, post Worlds, since there'll be a new Vault season. Assuming that's still, regardless of what, I guess that's a question that's not on here. Are we to assume that anything after May, no matter what happens, is still going to be considered the new Vault season?
I mean, we have no plans to change that as of yet. But just like with everything else, and probably, sadly, a lot of the questions you're going to ask, a lot of my answers will probably be that we're keeping our ear to the ground, and if anything changes, we will make sure to make you guys aware as soon as we make those decisions.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously with the coronavirus, again, I'm sure we're going to hear that 100 times during this episode, but, you know, it's tough to say, you know, say it disappears tomorrow. Everything changes, you know what I mean? So.
Yep, exactly. And, I mean, we love the game. We love running events. We want to make sure that everybody has something great to do for the game. But I'm also, I mean, I know both of you guys. I'm concerned about your health as well, right? Yeah. And that's the same for the rest of the community.
For sure. So, I mean, everybody's got family. Most people have children in this community, so, you know, I get it.
Right.
You know, that's why when I heard Adepticon was canceled, I was like, oh, I'm bummed. But maybe I'm not. I don't know. Like,
right.
I don't know how to feel, you know? Let's go to ES Rainbow Wolf. This is kind of an interesting one. What did they do to Gem to enable them to run a survival and allow the players to choose their day 2 deck?
So I would have to say that was magic.
Magic?
Yes. They used magic to make that happen. That is not the way that the format is built into Gem, as you guys are probably well aware. That is something that we're looking at doing for Gem in the pipeline.
To recode it so that is the way?
So that would be the way that it works, yes. That is something that we want to do, but with other changes and other things we need to do in Gem, it is not at the top of the priority list at this point.
For sure.
But I can tell you guys that is something that we definitely want to allow at some point in the future.
That I actually get asked more, like I get asked a lot about vaults and whatnot because I've been almost like all of them. But the thing that I get asked the most in regards to survival is day 2 finishes relatively early. Has there been any discussions of having a real survival just go all the way through?
We haven't actually really talked about it, but that is, again, feedback that I would love to hear. And
Because,
you can
I
use
get asked
that
that.
OP email address.
Like, the only people that don't ask me that question are, like, Vault pros, right? The people that have been to the things, they know the things, they've been with the game from the beginning. But everyone that's going to a survival event for the first time, or has never been to one, they get, like, this question of, what do you mean it's not, like, that's, and then their ultimate answer, well, that's not actually survival. And then we're like, yeah, you're kind of right. It's not really survival. And that's hard to explain to people that when they hear survival, because at the store level, the 2-deck survival is actually survival, which is weird that when we get to the vault level, we have all this time, we spent the money, everyone traveled to do this. And those survival events finish super quick. Like, the ones that I've been to were done by 1 p.m. One of them was done by 1:30. I mean, like, that's still the rest of the day.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, that is definitely feedback that we want to hear.
Because I think, I mean, if a full survival, you'd be finishing around 5, maybe 6 at the latest.
Right.
That's another thing I'd be interested in seeing at some point, like a real survival at the top level. I understand why that couldn't be a Worlds thing, because it is like that's only one thing. I kind of like what they decided to do with the 3 variants. A little sad we didn't get to see reversal for my kid because he was so looking forward to that. But I also understand that it is not the most popular form. So
sure.
All right, what's next, Wookie?
We got Adam Philpott. You guys will ask about Vault Warrior, without a doubt, which I'm sure we'll get into there. So my question is, when will we see those key topper figures?
Oh, that is a very good question. Those are in the 3rd premium kit for this year. So people should expect to start seeing those in June, July, somewhere in that range. As long as we don't continue having our production delayed because of what happened in China. Yeah. So, and, well, what is continuing to spread. So
I kind of figure what's going to happen at my LGS is we're just going to see them all at once. Just with everything. Like, you guys are probably going to get them all at once, ship them all at once, and then we'll just get them all at once.
Hopefully not. But, yeah, that is a very real possibility.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean, as far as I know, I have some friends who are in China that, they work there for the military, or not, military. I guess you could say they're contractors and whatnot. But, yeah, they say it's pretty much a ghost town over there. I mean, everything's shut down. Nobody's going to work. Just stay home, wash your hands, and don't go outside.
Yep. So, sounds about right from what we're hearing.
Yeah, so let's. So June, July is when we're looking at those tentatively.
Yep.
If nothing goes wrong.
Yep.
Okay. Cool beans. Edward Chesson-Sai asks, "How likely, unlikely will Keyforge Worlds push through because of the coronavirus?"
Again, something I can't give a solid answer for. We're just gonna keep monitoring the situation. And as soon as we have an answer, I will make sure that we share it.
All right, and this is one I have to ask because I kind of figured that answer from Sai's question. But Breon McMullen, you must ask him why he insists on scaring us all randomly, shaving his face.
So, as Braun should be well aware, I will only shave for a very important occasion, like a Halloween costume. Or in this case, my recent shaving was a friend's 40th birthday party that was 80s themed, so I had to have a mustache.
Was it just that's right, you had the handlebars, didn't you?
I did that for a while, but I just had the mustache. By the time I filmed the cast 3 days later, my beard was already growing back in. So
you can see it
the mustache probably wasn't quite as pronounced as it was the weekend prior.
Yeah, that was terrifying. I remember posting that on Twitter going, what is he thinking?
Yeah, my face does scare small children and Braun, but I will continue to keep it covered for you guys. I apologize for that.
Yeah. It's just so weird seeing you without a beard. It's like, he's had a beard this whole time, and now he just does something like this. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is he sick? Is he okay?
It's a costume.
Let's
That's all that matters.
Let's go to Paul Tyndale. He wants to know Vault Tour Australia?
That sounds wonderful. And that is not something, again, that is off the table. We are going to continue to grow Vault Tours. We have some partners in Australia and China that we've been working with. We are not quite ready for Vault Tours out there yet, but that is something in the pipeline.
I thought I heard Z chiming in. So my then next question to you, kind of in a follow-up in that manner. I know we've asked Alex about it many times. In fact, I think both times he was on the show, he asked about it. What is a way for the people, obviously our friends to the north haven't gotten many Vault Tours. I think they've gotten one at this point. And, some people overseas, Australia, haven't gotten anything, so they don't have any way to spend their Ember shards. Has there come a solution to that, or any ideas as to how those people could use their stuff?
Ideas, yes. Solutions, no.
Okay.
So, we do have some options. We're working through some stuff, but this is not something that can be passed and decided quickly. So,
sure.
We have hopes. We need to continue working towards the goals, though, to make sure that we can get that to as many people as possible.
For sure. All righty, Mr. Z, you're up.
All right. So Dominic has a whole list of stuff here. So let's talk about judge programs. With Vault Warrior indefinitely coming up at some point, and there's money on the line, what does it look like as far as being able to be a judge, preparing to be a judge? Has FFG discussed a judge program beyond let's hire some people that seem to know a lot about Keyforge?
Yes.
Not saying anything against people that have been running it. I love the Yeti crew. They're great people. They do, I have not seen them make a ruling that I would have ruled the other way. It's just, there's nothing official, it seems, out there comparative to, your competitor, right?
Right. Yeah, the judge program is definitely a discussion. It's definitely something that we are looking into. Again, timeline on this, I can't give you guys an answer because there are a lot of hoops to jump through when it comes to something like this in particular. But it is definitely something that we have been looking into pretty heavily.
Okay. Another thing, I know it's not on here, I don't think, in relation to this judge thing. So right now, other than going to look at backlogged Crucible casts in a couple third-party fan base sites, or even some of the stuff we said here, is there ever going to be a consolidated, other than the rule book, these are all the big rulings and interactions on cards that's actually done through an FFG site?
I would say that
a lot.
Yeah, I'd say that's a great idea. More a question for the developers, though, as they would be the ones to compile that list and to have all that information.
Okay. So going forward, that would be, was it Aaron? Who's the new guy?
Danny.
Okay.
Yep. But something I can definitely discuss with him.
Because a lot of those calls do get made on the floor, and then at that point they're repeated, the OP floor, and then they kind of share that the community. There are some websites that people currently track all that. I know every time someone emails FFG rules and gets a response, there's a site that tracks all of those. So it'd be interesting for that to be housed on a more official place, I guess. I don't know. But yeah.
I'm just looking forward to the graduation ceremony for some sort of judge program.
Okay.
Josh,
we'll make sure it's grandiose.
Josh hands you your diploma, We all flip our hats in the, our Keyforge stylized hats in the air. Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. But let's go into, are you removing that one, Z? I see you kind of working in here. So status update on those waiting to Oh, sorry, go.
So this affects my entire family. To status update on those waiting to receive Amber Shards for various events that have been waiting for a long time.
Yep. I am very aware of this, and this is one of the things that our developers for Gem are working on before they start doing the fun extra things is they are working through these and fixing these issues to make sure that everybody gets their shards. They know what the issue is that caused it, and they are starting to work through all of the events that we have forwarded to them. I would say within the next 2 months, or after the next 2 months, if you haven't seen an update, to reach out to us again, because there is a chance that they either missed it or that we never actually received the file from your local game store.
From the and in I don't know of actually any other cases. In almost all the cases that I'm aware of this going on, these are prime events.
They're primes. Yes, that is correct.
Because
I had a store championship. I still haven't received shards for.
Okay, that's the.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Good to know.
So I've got 3 events I still. I might have another Keyforge bag waiting on me by the time I get those shards. I had to go through height and hilt to get that thing, and I might have another one when it's all said and done.
Is this?
Are you going through?
Even through? Does the website say beta? I don't know.
Oh, it still does say beta on
okay.
it.
Yes.
So the website says beta. Is that word ever going to go away?
Yes, beta is going to go away. There are still some changes that we're making to the site to improve it. And because it is not at full capacity and what we want it to look like, it will stay beta until we make these updates and these changes, which will be a great improvement, and I think everybody will appreciate. But I'll make sure that it says beta 2.0 for the next one.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. That will drive. I mean, I know there's people out there that'll drive crazy.
I have a related website question. It might already be in the can. As far as the website goes, when you're doing the like leaderboard for the store, I've been asked this a lot. Like someone asked, "Well, how do I favorite my store?" Because right now you have to search for your stores every time.
Yep.
So one of the things that has been asked me a lot is there plans to have a feature where you can just tag certain stores and those be the ones you have all the time there? Because right now it just goes to the default. Here are 651 stores in the world.
Right. I think that sounds like a wonderful feature. And I would love to receive some feedback about that feature in the Organized Play email account.
Send in.
And that email account would be?
organizedplay@fantasyflightgames.com.
I was going to say, I don't know if we gave it away. We normally, last 2 times Alex was on, we gave it away multiple times. I don't think.
I've said it at least once.
Yeah, he said
I know. I thought so, but I was like, you'll hear it again, people.
Yep, I'm happy to plug it as many times as needed.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the times we lose sight of that email, and I think to be fair, with a lot of those people, sometimes maybe you hear some people saying, "Well, I already did do that, and I haven't heard anything back."
Right.
And that's kind of an irritating thing when you're like, "Well, I did, but nothing came of it." Like, or I don't know what came of it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see a resolve. And obviously now with Tess in the mix, which I'll have to make a mental note to contact her as well. It sounds like a lot of those issues are going to now, take care of themselves. She's going to be, at least overseeing that piece of the business.
Yep.
So, all right, you want the next one again? Are you gonna jump? Are you gonna hurt me if I take this one or?
Go ahead. I was the one that asked the original Alex question, but we know there's something, so go ahead.
All right, we will see what the keys do from gaining Ember Shards. Oh, will we see what the keys do from gaining Ember Shards this year?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that something that's quote unquote supposed to be revealed at Worlds?
No, that wasn't actually necessarily the plan for that announcement. Was to be at Worlds.
Okay. I mean, you could make it here if you want. We don't mind.
I'm sure that you would be okay with that. But just because I know how much you like it, I'm going to say no.
Any breaking news you ever want to give, and you need to break it. I'm always willing to break news.
Even if one of us has an excessive amount of keys?
I am sure that you both have more keys than most.
I mean, 212 is a lot.
Jeez.
Yeah, he definitely has more than me. I think you. Do you double me almost? I think you double me just about.
Jeez.
There may be one other person in the world that has more than me. Maybe. Not sure. We
might have a problem. We We have a group. It's called Archon's Corner. We meet every Thursday to talk about our issues.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Sounds
only
like a
have
good decision.
107.
Jeez.
I'm at 107, so I'm just slightly under halfway from you.
I'll take this one as it affects highly competitive play.
Run it.
So as Mass Mutation will have enhanced cards. Has there been any discussion from OP as far as the events go, allowing players to view their opponent's actual deck instead of the Archon card to see not only where the enhancements went, what they are on the cards they are on?
So we have started discussions on that, yes, but that's where I'll leave you.
Okay.
We have been talking about it.
Because that seems, even though the set's not released, that seems to started a whole fire of whether this makes it more or less competitive. Like, I really like it. I actually love playing sealed. I don't think it's the most competitive form of the game, but I just love the surprise. I love that nuance. Yep. And I love that about Mass Mutation. But for the people that are hard rage quitters versus variants type things, that kind of gives some of them an aneurysm, I guess. One of them's on my team.
Why don't you just call him out? Eric had a problem with it, okay?
I didn't say the name!
Well, we all know who you're pointing at.
Whatever. Yes, it gives some people anxiety.
All right, so now I need to know if I need to torture Eric or not. That's what you're getting at.
You might have to.
All right.
I love it. I think it's awesome not knowing where they are, but yes, there are plenty of people that want to know if that will become a modification to OP going forward or not.
Yeah, the discussion has been had. And then I'm actually going to just answer the next part of this question since I got the questions up in front of me. When it comes to the app itself or going online and looking at decks, it will not show those enhancements on the cards when you do scroll over the card. That will still just be the base version of the card no matter what.
Of course it won't.
Now, aren't they flagged in the deck? Are they flagged on the deck card though? Like, this is the card that is enhanced, or no?
I believe that is the case. Yes,
but it doesn't show what enhancement. It just has
right.
Correct.
I thought it was flagged on the card, but then I just figured for server space, as a fellow person who has a website, me and Z both understand how expensive server space is. So, it would just be easier to put the generic version of it up as opposed to, 9 different versions of the card.
It would be way more than 9.
Well, you get my point.
Yes.
As opposed to here's every single type of, what insert card here. It would just, that seems like that would be excessive.
Yeah. All right.
So the Fuzzy Gruins seem to have done well. Has there been plans for the next plushie yet? If so, understanding may not be able to share much. Could you mention the house we could be looking at?
So I hope Alex Watkins doesn't listen to this podcast, this one in particular.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't listen at all.
Our next plush is a mini Alex Watkins.
No way!
No, it's actually not that. Not at all.
I would totally get a mini Alex Watkins.
I want a red hawk.
That would be pretty hilarious. But no, we are working on our next plush. It is already well underway. I don't want to give any information away about it yet. No, I'm saving that for the Crucible cast.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, guys, but it is definitely underway. We saw what the Gruen did as it started taking over at PAX Unplugged. So, we are planning on continuing to do that for the foreseeable future.
If we can make a mini Alex Watkins, though, let's talk about this for a minute. I think they'd do well. I really think they'd do well.
I think that miniatures would actually do better. A lot of the people play board games, and if they could have a miniature, a highly detailed miniature, they could use it for Warhammer stuff or their D&D.
Well, we're getting
stuff.
that with the key toppers.
Yeah, but I mean, just in general on the prize wall that people can buy with Amber Shards is different than the one-offs or the things you have to win or go to. I think those would sell quite well. Anyway.
But now,
Also good
speaking of the
feedback.
prize wall, it's something I have to ask because we've been theory crafting on the show for a few months now. Obviously, a lot of stuff says Keyforge 2019 on it.
Yep.
We're very shortly going to be leaving the 2019 season and entering the 2020 season.
Yep.
Is there what's going to happen to that 2019 product? Is there going to be some kind of like major blowout, where we half Ember shards or something as to that matter?
I was just going to bring it all home. That was the plan.
Oh, well,
Just
I mean,
unlimited
you can't fit
hoodies.
everything. Yeah, I mean, but some of those are big. They'll be big on you, so you don't want to.
Yeah. Well, without giving too much information, Alex and I do have complete control over what things cost Amber Shard wise. So once the 2019 season is done, we don't really need those in stock anymore. And when this next year's stuff come out, whether it says 2020 or just is, year agnostic, will be the new hotness. So there's always the possibility of the old stuff being clearanced out.
Clearance out, I would say lingering about, but yeah, whatever you do, don't listen to episode 1 of this show. Anyways.
Wow. All right. I know what I'm doing after this
Episode 1 was a little brutal.
I was not part of that.
He was not. No, he wasn't. See, you want to take the next one?
Are you planning on doing a pre-release, giving players a chance to play the set once before it comes out for Mass Mutation?
For Mass Mutation, we wouldn't have enough time to plan and build that in right now. But that is another thing I can tell you we have had discussions about. It's just figuring out how we make that work, and not just us, but have it work with all of our distribution units, because we are a worldwide company and we need to keep everybody in mind. So those are definitely discussions that we're having, though.
I know no one has them right now. Can you tell us what the 3 alternate art cards were supposed to be for last month, this month, and next month? Right?
Oh, yeah. Those were things that got
Yeah, we
pushed.
haven't gotten any of those.
You are right. You haven't gotten them.
Yes.
You know what?
We don't even know what the cards were supposed to be yet. People were supposed to already have them. So,
you know what? I won't give the info to you tonight, but I will make sure that we get that posted so that you guys can all see it very soon.
All right, that would be cool. Do we have a timeline on when we think? I assume these are actually made in China, so
yes,
I'm assuming that is the problem there.
Correct.
Okay, I knew where these were manufactured at, so I wasn't surprised when we didn't get them. I was just wondering if there was any kind of updated timeline, because I know at one point things had started to get better with that, but I don't know about now.
Yeah.
So no news? Okay.
No. I can't tell you exactly when, because this isn't affecting just Keyforge leaderboard decks.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It's, everything.
Yes.
All right. Here's kind of an interesting question again from Edward. I haven't seen this happening at all. So, but maybe it is. Does FFG plan on auditing or policing stores who abuse weekly chain bounds and farm shards? There are several low SAS decks that have garnered an unreasonable amount of chains or losses. I've never seen or heard of this until I saw this comment. So
yeah, this is also something that I would suggest they reach out to organized play at fantasyflightgames.com, because I have not heard of this as well. One thing that I will say is when it comes to SAS, the ratings for that, however accurate they may be for a lot of decks, the pilot is also a big factor.
Sure.
The players, I mean, I have some great decks, but I can tell you their win-loss rate is terrible because I'm not as competitive as a lot of people that play the game. I play the game because I love the game. So, I mean, there's also the opposite of that, where there may be a player with a deck that, according to SAS, isn't very good, but they have found the right combo for it to just kick off and work really well, or it's just their play style and they happen to do very well with it. So whether that's the case or not, that is something that we would definitely want as feedback so that we could begin to monitor those things. Yes.
Yeah, and not only that, guys, also keep in mind the quote unquote best deck in the world at what is it, 93? Is he?
Yep.
Yeah, it's sitting at 01 right now.
Well,
So,
there's
three, that.
There are 3 that are at 93. One of them is not 01 because it's mine.
Oh, no. I was talking about, what is it, Vroom?
Vroom, yeah.
Yeah, Vroom Route Navigator. Oh, no, now it's 1-1.
I don't think it has any actual OP stats. Right?
No, it does. Organized play wins losses, 1-1. It was 0-1 for a while.
I don't even know how it would go 1-1, honestly.
I go 1-1 drop, or win 1, lose 1 drop.
Guess.
I don't know. I'm guessing Ikara is yours.
Yes.
Sitting at 6-3.
Yep.
But that's a thing. Even a 93 SAS deck still has 3 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep that in mind. It does have a lot to do with the 4-2 champion himself, Big Z.
That's right.
So, you want to take the next couple?
There's only one more, right? I guess it's kind of
it's a 2-parter type deal.
So, I guess let's unpack this initially. So before we ask the next part, the second part, how does changing the rules, such as nerfing errata, how does that happen with FFG? Because it's happened a couple times. What does that look like as far as y'all's process?
Right. So again, this is more a question for the developers, but I know that they are watching and paying attention to events that are happening. They are seeing interactions with cards that they may not have recognized in early testing, and there are things that just need to change when new set comes out, because what we've said with Keyforge is there is no rotation. So we need to make sure that the game remains balanced the more and more things that come out. So those are decisions that they make. I can't really get into their process for it. But
okay.
So when errata comes down, that's not coming from you guys. That's coming from what was Brad and
now Danny.
Danny.
That's the Keyforge development team. Yep.
Okay. So just keep that aware. Don't flood their inboxes with.
We need to get Danny on.
Tribute needs. Yeah. Well, I'm going to reach out to Danny here shortly, obviously, because he's now he's the big cheese as far as development goes. So
the next one wouldn't be for Josh.
The next one definitely wouldn't be for because now we're going into erratas and all that stuff. So
right,
that that's
there's
not you.
Specific one that I would like unerrated, and I guess we need to talk to Danny about that.
Bait and switch. Oh,
yes.
Oh, that
switch
came
is
out.
Just a horribly bad card right now, and there's enough steel hate that it doesn't matter anymore. But anyway,
or can we just get tribute errated?
No, shut up! Don't say that. Well, you need to delete that from this cast. I have a question that is kind of like price related and OP. Not knowing when the season's going to end or anything. Is there anything potentially in store for the people that are actually in the top 10 other than, everyone gets an invite along with their cousins?
Oh, you're talking about the Vault Warrior or Vault Tour leaderboard?
Yeah, if you end up in the top 10 or say example first, is there any potential anything different from being 100th?
I think the important thing it would be for me to look through those names first and decide based on who the people are, how well I would want to treat them. So
got it.
That is something that, again, I will not be sharing on the cast, but any information about that we will share if that is a thing.
Okay. Been meaning to ask. I just
yeah, it's a fair question.
Yeah.
WOOKIE, you got anything that you had personal?
I was letting you kind of have the table to unload. Where the books are clean. Everything. I mean, a lot of questions I had gotten rid of before this because a lot of it had to deal with coronavirus, and it's just like he's not going to be able to answer that because I mean, literally, judgment just came down for Adepticon at least today. We kind of heard about what was going on, or what our government was telling us to do yesterday. So it's like I'm sure none of that has even been discussed yet, just because obviously as the state of emergency rises, things are always in the state of flux.
Well, yes, and that's the thing. Don't think that we haven't been discussing. It's just things potentially change from day to day. So
right, and my assumption was discussions were being had.
Yeah,
but at the same time, everything we do right now seems to be in a state of flux.
Yep.
Like, this week you can't find hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Next week it's, water and whatever the next hot, Lysol spray. I don't know.
Right.
It's kind of where we're at right at the moment, and we just kind of got to keep our eyes peeled for you guys.
Yep.
So,
and like I said earlier, we will share all the information that we can as soon as we know what it is.
Now, my biggest question for you is, and it is one of my pet peeves. And again, I don't know what the process is on this, and I talked to Alex about it, but Prime Championship signups. I believe the store that wanted it last time got signed up this time, but it was merely because, I mean, again, he didn't get an email. I saw it. I literally saw it on FFG's organized play page, on March 1st, and it was everything needs to be in by March 4th, and I'm like, oh no. What is the best way of really streamlining that?
What do you mean? You're saying that one of our retailers didn't know that they had a Prime?
Yeah, no. There's stores in our area that want to have Primes.
They didn't know that they could sign
up. But they're not receiving. I mean, I guess when I talked to Alex, they said everybody was supposed to receive an email.
Yep.
And now, again, he didn't receive an email. He was looking for it because he, again, wants to have a Prime. But again, didn't get an email. And I happened to see it. I messaged it over to him hey, it's March 1st. You got to have this in 3 days. So get on it or whatever you need to do. And it's just wow, it just seems and there's a couple stores in our area that are in that same boat where they're just not receiving an email, and they're we want to have a Prime, but we're not receiving an email to even know how to get set up for it.
Okay. Well, that is good information to have. So we have multiple people that communicate with retailers. OP does not communicate directly with them.
Right.
But I will make sure to make that the communication that we send to our partners, make it more clear that this needs to go out to every and all stores, not a select group. Whether that's happening or not, I don't know, but that is an internal conversation I can have.
Yeah, I mean, because this is this for him. He's getting really kind of I don't want to say depressed, but for lack of a better term, I just want to have a Prime. I enjoy the game. I like the game. I want to support it, but I can't if I don't know when events are happening, when I'm supposed to be signing up for events. So It was just one of those things I told him I would kind of pass along, and hopefully we figure something out.
Yep.
I didn't.
One of the things we're trying to do here is be more open with our communication, and that is definitely one of those steps.
For sure. Well, let's tell you what. Let's get ready to wrap up. We're looking at just under the hour mark, which is where we want to be. Where can people find you, get a hold of you, follow the beard? Oh, is Josh still here? Z's still here.
Yeah. He
okay.
Looks like he's here.
Oh, we are breaking up all together. I guess is Josh still here, or did he get left?
Oh no, I'm still here. Can you not hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, okay. We got you now.
Okay, good. Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Tell us where people can find you, talk to you, interact with you.
All right, so I have just created a new Facebook account, so find me on that. It is just under Josh Massey. Make sure you find the one that is just the black outline of a bearded face, because I don't have the full beard now. I had to put a fake picture up. Otherwise, organized play at fantasyflightgames.com.
Alrighty. That sounds great, guys. And we're going to wrap it up from here. We will talk to everybody next week. Make sure I got the video coming out, I believe, tomorrow. If everything goes well, we'll be giving away that deck, so you guys can go over there. For all your needs for Archon's Corner, you can follow us on all of our social media. It's just at Archon's Corner. Enjoy the Discord down in the notes below. You can find our link for our Discord. We are wrapping up. What do we got wrapping up right now? We got Reversal and Adaptive going into their final stages. Their quote-unquote day 2s. So we will be kind of going into more in-depth stuff after that. Kind of wraps up.
All right, Josh,
you got
thanks
anything
for
going on?
coming on.
I'll take that as a no. All right.
Yep, I'll take that as a no as well. All right, yeah, thanks guys for having me on.
What's going on? Yeah, thanks for coming on. I'll get with you on Discord because for whatever reason we're breaking up real bad in here.
Z, you
not
can't.
Sure
who can you not hear, Z?
Z says he's not even in here, but I don't know.
I hear Z.
We will catch. Oh, do you?
Yep.
Well, we'll just wrap this up because whatever's going on with the internet, maybe the